No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
When things look bad, it looks like you're not gonna make it. And you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Well, good evening. Welcome back to VP4TV. We're here for a one-loss side match tonight. Matt thought he wasn't going to make it in time because he's out in the town, I think, having a meal. But he sent me a message on Facebook. He is here. Or he should be here if he's not already in a room, although I don't see him. And Bill is already there. He's been hanging around all day. Just give me a quick minute. I notice Steve just come back into the lobby. I don't know whether he's intended to be here tonight. So I've got Discord open. I hope you can hear me all loud and clear. Let me know if there's any problem. Right, that'll do. So, could run very close. One could blow the other away. They're both capable of doing it. I don't know who wants to call this. I presume you are here. Give me a confirmation that you hear me, because I always worry when I don't get 100% confirmation from one or two people. That way, if there's any, Matt's just arrived in the lobby. Maybe Steve's burnt himself out from his right. Why is nobody saying anything in the chat? That's got me even more worried. Somebody say something, for God's sake, before this thing goes pear-shaped. Right, that's good. As long as you can hear me, whether you understand me or not, I don't care. As long as you can hear me. Right, how long have we got? We've got about a minute and a half. I'm going to double check again. Right, he's there.
Hello and welcome to VP4TV. Matt and Bill go head-to-head on the one-loss side tonight. It's 10-ball race to 13. Welcome your commentators 9ball.com and Super Admin. Click the like button.
Welcome to Steve. Hello? Don't tell me Steve's not there.
I'm here, but you sound like you're about 3 years old.
Oh, don't tell me the voice has defaulted to something else. Hang on a minute. Just bear with me. It should be on clean right there.
There we go. That'll fix it in a second. Should be good now.
That's better.
Right, now, how long have we got? Well, the room's going to go up, so we don't have any time, because I was going to have a quick look at the, oh, that's not the stats. I had the stats up a minute ago. Oh, the league, I don't see, oh, there it is. Right, that's what I was wanting to get to. If you look at the event stats from tonight, if we can have a quick look, they'll probably be lagging off. My break was absolute garbage until my final match, where I decided to do a cut break, and then I think I potted one or two balls. But up until then, I was probably the worst percentage all night as far as that goes.
Mine wasn't good either. I didn't start doing well till I copied Circle Rush's break. That was the third match.
Yeah, well, mine's actually improved, believe it or not, in that last match. But the rest of the match was absolutely awful.
You're better than me.
Well, I think just, you know, it was a real struggle. Anyway, we can cover that maybe later on. Right, let's get in. Welcome to Brainflout. Welcome to Cobra. Good luck to Matt and Bill. And Bill's in. Matt's messing about in the stream. He wants to get out of there quick.
Yeah, I was wrecking my mind, Paul.
Right,
I had a headache. I still have a headache. I had a headache after the second match was done, and I'd won both of those, and I still had a headache. That's how bad it was.
That's what pressure does to you, Steve.
It's not pressure. It reminds me I don't play this game. I have no feel at all for it. You know, I'd have to practice a lot. It's just torture playing it. I know what to do, but I can't do it.
I think you could work it out, Coldest Bill. I don't think he enjoyed it. I think he was suffering.
I would have to put a major commitment of time into playing to get to the point. I mean, I can't aim balls. Speed.
Well,
I mean, it's just terrible. I have no feel at all for it.
You want to know what my practice was today? I went in, broke the balls. I think I potted like 4 balls, missed one, and I thought it was well, that's enough, and that was it. That was my practice. I began to get a feel for pace of the shots a wee bit later on, but no, too much unforced mistakes and stuff, and I scratched probably twice on the break as well. I think
you wouldn't believe some of the balls I missed. It was bad.
Well, Semi didn't enjoy it. I thought when you look at Semi Pro's break, he must have been breaking good tonight. His break was tremendous. I think. What was he on? He's one. Or did I read that wrong? I did read it wrong. It was Sergeresh. He's 1.5.
Yeah, he broke well against
balls
me.
in the break. So he worked something out.
Like I said, I copied his break because he was breaking good. And as soon as I copied it, I 2 or 3 breaks in a row, I made balls.
All right, they're messing about here with a bit of safety at the moment. Hang on till I go to the...
Well, Bill's not going to like what happens to him here.
Yeah, he's going to be nailed. What was it I was going to look at? Look at the racks ran. Chimpy had 10, so he was hot tonight. Look at mine, 1.
Hey, even I had more than you.
Yeah, I tell you, it was bloody awful. But look at my money ball shot.
But I think it's because I made the money ball on the break twice in a row. I think that's why.
That helps as well. But the rest of my stats don't bear looking at at all. So they don't. Right. Did Semi win all his matches?
Probably.
So wait to hear the answer to this question, Steve. So who won all their matches tonight?
I don't know. I know it wasn't me. I think Chimpy did. Semi-pro probably. I didn't look.
I'll ask it again.
You must have. If you're asking it, you must. What the frick is? What the heck is wrong with him?
If you have to ask, you'll never know.
He's such an idiot.
Who's that gate crasher that's come in? That's Hairpig, isn't it?
It's Hairpig. It's Hair on a Pig.
How are you?
Now, is everybody here in Hairpig okay? Do I need to bump him up?
He's good for me, but I'm on Discord.
I can project if I need.
Well, Paul, you gifted me about at least 3 racks because you couldn't get the rack finished. I mean, thanks very much for that. So the sound is good.
Ruh-roh. That
if he hadn't cheated the pocket so much, I don't think he would have hooked himself.
Ruh-roh. Well, this is going to be good because even if he made that, he wasn't going to have a shot on the 8.
Hey, he would have had a bank.
Yeah.
That's good. I can sit back and watch the snooker and let you 2 go on, mate. That's fine. Thanks very much.
On this game with these pockets, those long rail banks isn't that bad. Unless I'm shooting, then it might.
I mean, it's certainly missable, but something you'd take chances on. And Bill draws straight back off that ball instead of using the rails. I don't know about that. Worked.
I know about it. It's the wrong thing to do.
Well, it definitely is in real life. I don't know about the VP wrong thing to do.
I think it's wrong in VP too. I mean, draw control in VP, I think, is harder than real life.
Yeah, depends. I mean, you never accidentally miss your tip placement, but the speed control is obviously takes doing. Where are
Ronnie
you from?
Sullivan's
US
3-1 up, about
Airbag,
to go 4.
similar accent to Slim. You know, it's funny. I did not expect Slim's voice to sound like it does because he's from Minnesota.
Yeah, he should be like talking like a hoser.
So Minnesota has a distinctive accent, which is not what Slim sounds like, at least not when he's doing his commentary.
Now,
But I'm
he
I'm from the.
but is he an immigrant to Minnesota? Was he Minnesota born and bred? He might have shipped over there from somewhere else.
I never asked. I know he's lived there a long time because he talked about, you know, the change in the pool scene there over time, but I don't know if he's from there from childhood.
There should be a lot of pool scene there. Any place where it's cold like that should have a lot of pool rooms.
Rainfallout's asking where you are, Hairpig.
I am born and raised in Virginia in the Washington, D.C. suburbs.
I'm born and bred in Scotland, descended from the west coast of Ireland.
We would have never guessed.
You hide your accent well too, Hugh.
Yeah. Oh, this
Actually,
is me. This is me talking posh, so you guys can understand me. If I was talking in an Ayrshire accent, you'd be totally lost. I'd need subtitles. Mind you, you can go to my YouTube VP4TV gaming channel and get subtitles. Anybody wants to try it.
Here's something you can explain to us, Hugh. If the city is called Glasgow, then why are the people called Glaswegian?
Glasgow, isn't it?
Glasgow, sorry.
Yeah, it's not Glasgow.
But where does the W before the G thing come from in Glaswegian? How's that come about?
Well, you're Glaswegian. If you come from Liverpool, what are you?
Liverpudlian.
Correct. If you come from London, what are you?
You're a Londoner?
Right, so if you come from Glasgow, you're a Glaswegian. End of story. I don't know why, but that's what you are.
Linguistically, I'm not getting it. I don't get the Liverpudlian either, actually. So
No, as soon as they start putting like accents on letters, I'm gone. Although
right.
I did learn how to say Gabriela Gunchikova. Gunchikova. I learned how to say her name.
I don't know who that is.
She's a pretty famous singer.
Well, Bill thought he could see the 7 there, but I think maybe he couldn't. Matt's gonna mop up easily.
This match is going to be close. It's close. It's these guys are very similar in speed. I would give a slight advantage to Matt because I think consistency wise he's been a little better than Bill, but I think speed wise they're very close.
Yeah, Matt is not going to miss a lot of pots.
Now, you know, if Bill plays good, he can play awful good. So I'm expecting this to be a close match.
Well, here's a test straight away, dry break. Good table, if he can get up in that 2 off the 8 ball.
You got to judge the draw off the 8, I think.
Yeah,
did really well.
No, the balls are just like rails. I mean, you can play them just like rails. If you start thinking about them that way, it makes it a lot easier. I remember one day I was talking to Ernesto, and he said that to me. And, you know, I never thought of it that way. When I started thinking of them that way, it made it a lot easier to play off the ball.
Well, but they're like round rails.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, I already know which direction the ball's going off of them, and I think I don't know why, but that little tip made sense to me when I'm looking at him.
Oh, he's in and gone. He's already gone. I don't know, Mark, but there's probably a local name for people from Goole.
And where's
Goolians?
Is that Scotland also?
No, that's down in England.
I can't believe he didn't play that ball. That ball went. I guess he did not think he was going to end up.
You call
on
them
the floor.
ghoulies,
Yeah.
as in kicked in.
Kicked in the ghoulies, huh? Never heard of this one.
I'm not in love with shooting the shot he's shooting, but it's kind
Family
of a
jewels.
tricky situation.
Think that'll squeeze? Do you think that'll squeeze?
No, he's playing the 9.
Oh, all right.
I didn't really like that shot, but on the other hand, the safety wasn't easy. It was not a great situation.
If he had hit the 9 fuller with the 3, he could have gotten safe, but with a glancing blow, the 3 was going to leak out too much.
No, I just say I'm from Kelly. We've not got a local term for somebody that comes from Kilmarnock, but somebody who comes from Ayr, does anybody know that?
Here's a safety all day on the 10.
It's definitely safety time, but he shouldn't bunt this. He should take the 4-ball up table.
I'm not so sure, because he can freeze him up on the 10, and the 9 should protect from the kick in.
It's just I don't like that shot. I mean, I
It's
think
easy
he
to
ended up
sell out
leaving
moving the
edge.
4 all the way up table, though. It's
No,
takes
because
more control.
you got the Great Wall of China, and you're going to put him on the 10 on the backside.
So what time do you guys start your match? Bear in mind, right now it's almost 8:30 my time.
Stub playing tonight?
No, Vertical Liquid and Coldest Pillow, I think, are both playing, or I don't know whether they're playing each other or whether they've got a match on. I haven't looked at the schedule.
Well, that was a good attempt. He was trying to put him on the 10. That was actually a pretty nice attempt, but you know, the problem with those kind of shots is if you don't get the snooker, you're screwed.
Here's a little bit of education for you. Anybody from Ayr, they're called the Honest Men. And the reason they're called the Honest Men is Rabbie Burns wrote Tam O'Shanter, probably one of his most famous poems. And one of the lines in Tam O'Shanter, which I used to be able to recite, but I've totally forgotten most of it because it's about 15 minutes long when you're reading it. All there wham ne'er a tune surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. That's where that line comes from, and that's why they're called the Honest Men. So don't say I don't teach you people stuff. Well, loads of room up top. Is he going to come inside? I think he's going to come inside. Now, wham ne'er a tune surpasses, where never a town surpasses. But that's proper old Ayrshire dialect that Robbie Burns wrote in. Yeah, did you watch my training video? There you go, Steve. My numpty-proof training video works.
Your numpty-proof training video? No, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I made. This was after because Fast Eddie gets the credit. Fast Eddie sent me a PM. You got them working yet? No, of course I haven't, because I don't understand the instruction. 30 seconds worth of instruction for Fast Eddie. Job done.
Well, I'm sure he's playing safe here.
No, I think he's back. Yeah, back cutting it cross table. He's not getting on the 2. That's one thing's for certain.
Well, he could. It's just not worth shooting a shot. It's too hard to get on it. That's the problem. I mean, there's just too many things that can happen like that sort of thing. That's a crazy shot to shoot at.
I know that. I can pronounce that Welsh town. I've done it before. The longest name in the UK.
What he should do here is pocket the 1 and just leave the cue ball about where the 1 is, and he's got a pretty easy safety 2 ball.
He's going to try to get around the rails here.
Uh-oh.
That's the only way to sell out the 2.
I just don't get taking these flyers at these really low percentage shots.
Yeah.
Just make a ball and play safe. I mean, I just don't understand it.
Well, it was hard to get on an easy safe because the 2 was so
All
protected
he
by
had to
the
do was
3.
roll forward, and then he plays the 2 off the end rail and the cue ball with right English, takes the cue ball over and uses the 10 and the 3 as blockers. I mean, it really wasn't hard to get to a spot where he play safe. All he had to do. Well, I'm not talking about whoever just shot. I was talking about whoever had the ball by the side pocket that did the crazy shot.
Yeah, that was Bill.
Yeah. I mean, all he had to do was roll forward, and he could have played a pretty simple safety.
Doesn't want to go too straight.
He did get 2 straight, so he's going to have to settle for a cut on the 8, I think.
Yeah, at least he's got a cut on it.
He spun it
little
over
bit of-
there, all right.
Little
Nice.
tweak.
Well, that's nice because you gotta force that ball to the rail.
Yeah, he really didn't have to settle, and he recognized it.
If
so-
I tried to shoot that shot in VP, I'm either making the cue ball or I'm following or I'm missing the shot.
Oh,
That's a
Ronnie
shot
is
that comes
blowing
up in
ding
real
away.
life all the time. Ronnie's what?
He's blowing ding away. He's about to go 5-1 up.
Oh, is that the guy, the Asian guy?
Yeah, they're from China. Ding Junhui.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more Chinese snooker players, I think.
Oh, there's a whole barrel load of them over here, apart from the ones that all get booted out of the professional circuit for their misbehaviour, betting and all of that crap. Oh, he'll say it was crap. Of course he will. He'll be depressed again. I mean, listen to a Ronnie O'Sullivan interview after the match. You want to slit your wrists. What do you do? He's so bloody depressing.
Well, let's see what he pushes to.
Well, is he actually pushing? Has he called push?
He doesn't
He
have
may
a
not.
push. This was a safety.
Oh, right.
Oh, this is a safety. Well, you can kick this one ball in. I'm not, I mean, or you can play safe off the end rail and try to push it past the 10.
Ah, yes, pushing. Yeah, yes, pushing.
Yeah, this is push
Well, that's
out.
my mistake.
I wouldn't have pushed out to that. I'm not quite
No,
sure
he's
what
gonna
he's
get it
trying to
right
do.
back.
I probably would have pushed a little further down the rail so it was a better kick shot to make the 1.
I think his intention was to leave an edge of the 1, but he hit it too soft.
Yeah. Well, but that's hard to do. If you're going to roll up to a ball,
Oh, that'll do it.
if
He was
you're
just
going to roll
leaving
up
his kick
to
in.
a ball to, leave an edge, you want to be rolling up sideways or hitting a stop shot or something that's guaranteed. It's very difficult to roll into open space and leave an edge. I mean, the angle he had in that 6 was no good. Could be good if it gets there. Oh, no, think it did. Nope.
It didn't, but don't see Clarkey cutting this in.
I still haven't been told when you guys are playing your match. What time are you playing your match at? Let us know. UK time, that is.
He's going to bank this, and it's sort of a free bank if he hits it the right way. He can use the 4 and the 6 as blockers if he misses the 2. But it's a speed shot if you play that.
All right. Well, this won't be done by
And
then.
that's what he's playing. That's a good shot.
He did, but the 2
His
leaked
speed
out.
wasn't good enough. Well, it was the right shot. He just didn't have the right speed. That's the kind of shot you'd play in one pocket a lot.
Still not super easy to get on the 3 here. It's got a
Just back
Red.
and forth. Shoot it up table. I wouldn't have done that. I would have just gone straight back and shot it up table just because it's easy to go straight back and forth.
I would have 2, but you can get in trouble bumping the 8 doing that.
Well, that wouldn't be straight back and forth to hit the 8.
Well,
He had a
but
fair
getting it
amount of room
perfectly
there.
straight is a lot easier said than done.
I don't know. I don't have any trouble doing it in real life. VP, that's another story for me. But I can't play the game.
Well, I only played tonight because Tam injured his wrist. He's got tendonitis in his wrist, according to the doctor, and he's been told to leave off.
Too much VP.
Yeah, leave off VP for a couple of days. Or
Well,
else I wouldn't have been playing.
I played because Brain fell out, didn't answer my message, and then he showed up, but I still decided to play because if I'm going to play, I need a team that isn't that great, so I get a lot of chances, and that's why I played, because I really don't have any chance right now against the better players because I make so many mistakes. Maybe I'll get motivated and practice some, play some more, we'll see. I just don't feel like putting the time in.
Oh, I think I'll keep the same practice regime, pot 4 balls, then say that's enough.
Yeah, well, I can't handle playing. I still got a headache from that fiasco.
Well, who's going to get the break here? The break of serve.
Six ball, nope. Dry, and he's left a pretty good table if he can get on the 2.
Well,
Just a little left here, I think he could be okay.
He's going to have to.
He
He's
just
going
wants
to have to
barely
go
beat the 6.
back and forth, I think.
You know,
Yeah,
I think
barely missed the
I thought he was
6.
going to chip the 7 there.
That shot was kind of tricky. Getting the line. He almost had it. He shot the right shot. This ball will go in the side pocket. I'm sure he's probably going to shoot it there.
Woof, I would not have.
Well, the thing is, as long as he shot at the wrong speed, as long as you came up short there, you were going to get safe. But
I just would have played the safety, putting it down by the 9 and getting the cue ball back behind the 10 and 4.
Well, if you're going to play safe there, the thing to do would probably be try to get him on the 3 better. But I would have shot that. I would have shot that in real life on these pockets.
It's about as bad of a miss as you're going to see out of Clarkey. I'm sure he was playing that ball and missed it by a mile.
Well, Bill can steal the rack here, get the gap.
Oh, Hairpig, you should have seen some of the balls I missed tonight.
Oh, I believe it.
It was I miss them. I miss some balls that were like.
You talk like VP should be easy for somebody who's good at pool in real life, but there's a lot to learn about how to play VP.
It should be if you practice. I mean, because you got to practice. You got to get a feel for it, and you got to get the visual. But if you know pool in real life, yeah, I believe you can become a very good VP player. But it's not going to be automatic.
Oh no, you've got to put the time in. It's like real life in that sense. If you stay away from the table, you ain't going to just come back and you're off and running. I mean, I struggled with the pace. I actually changed my mouse mid first match.
I worked on my mouse. My pace was actually better. My pace wasn't my issue tonight. I still missed a lot of balls with the visual, and probably the thing I do the worst is kick. It's weird because I have no feel for where the balls are. It's like, real life, it's different. I know where the balls are on the table in my mind. I played a shot tonight where I actually put it in view mode and went and looked. I go, I can shoot this 1 ball into the side pocket and just stop it, and then shoot the 2 ball. And I did exactly that. I shot it, I stopped it, and I went over and I was hooked. It's like I put it in view mode and went and looked, and I was still hooked. I'm like, how can this happen? But it's
now.
You got to get a feel for the game, and I don't have it right now.
Here's something that Paul will confirm, because Paul was my first match tonight. How many times did we have that pattern in that match, Paul? Probably at least 4, if not about 5 times, didn't we?
Beach House has tighter pockets. I don't think so. Now look at this. Played the 2-rail bank.
Missed call.
You did play it. That ball really shortened up on him. I'm surprised. Did he cut that a little?
I wasn't looking at it. But I think that's going to cost him.
It is. But I think the really costly one was last rack. That one was you know, a lower percentage shot that it was worth going for. Last rack was he should be out 100%, and he scratched and gave it away.
Well, he just got funny on this. He's going to have to do something with the cue ball now.
It's done over for the other corner, I think. Oh, no, pulled back for the side.
Yeah, if you watch pros in real life, they'll be real unhappy about that shot onto the 5. Not that they're not completely capable of shooting the shot he just shot to get over there. They just don't want to have to play that way. They want to do everything really simple.
That is the name of the game.
I'll watch that right side pocket if he's heading that direction. He's good.
Yeah.
Well, the brake cues are all different speeds.
They are.
That's the difference.
They are different speeds. So having multiple brake cues is an advantage, because if you find that a different speed is working better on a given rack and game, then you can use a different brake cue. I'll tell you this, I was trying to cut brake with the 9-ball on the spot, and it doesn't work good in VP unless you hit it pretty easy. But if you hit it easy, you can make that 1 ball a pretty good percentage in the side pocket.
Yeah.
And you know, there's something to be said for soft braking. There's a reason why it got outlawed. Corey Duell kind of set that trend. Corey Duell figured out how to soft brake really effectively, and so that's when they changed the rule and started saying you got to get, you know, 2 balls or 3 balls across either the center of the table or the head string, or balls pocketed in a combination of that.
So the 9-10 combo looks like a non-issue, but the 7 could be some trouble here.
Well, Paul, Steve did what everybody should do. If your brake's a pile of crap and it ain't working, have a look at the other guy and see what he's doing and copy him.
I copied Sergarish. So this should be an easy situation, because what you do here is you just roll forward and then go 3 rails, and it should be very easy to get a nice angle on the 7.
Well, you can get behind the 8 doing that too, though.
Well, but again, you know, if you play lines good, it's real easy. I mean,
well,
if I was shooting this in real life, I'm never getting behind the 8.
Yeah, I agree, actually. Should be able to hit that second diamond or a little above it.
Yeah, you want to be probably a touch above it. I mean, this is like a perfect line.
Yeah, that's pretty perfect.
You know, I mean, if you hit it harder, you might be a little closer, but this is where you want to be, because, you know, if you miss a little low, you're still okay. If you're trying to get perfect, that's how you get behind the 8. That's why you don't try to play perfect position in most situations, because perfect is usually taking a risk.
That little brush on the 10 moved it from tight to the rail to about an 1/8 inch off the rail, and that's going to help this shot tremendously. Now he can hit the 10 basically full in the face, and it'll still go in.
Yeah, even I could make this one.
He has to play it soft. He wants to keep control of the 9.
A lot of balls. Yeah, that's because I copied his break, Paul. That's what happened. I'm like, how come he's making all these balls? And I'm not. I better take a look at what he's doing. I just copied exactly what he was doing.
Uh-oh. Look at this.
There we go.
Nobody expected that.
Dead easy, those 10 balls into the side pocket, aren't they?
Well, I will say this about Bill. Bill and Larry have the same diseases. Every once in a while, they start missing balls they shouldn't. And if they're not missing those balls, they're very difficult to beat. I mean, that's just huge. That's a 2-game swing there.
Yeah, so First time in the match, I think there's been a 2-rack lead.
That's
Yeah. Those hurt. Those hurt bad when you do that.
and that's at least 2 games where Bill was on a run out that he should complete every time and sold it out instead.
If you're in the Philippines and you do that, you look over and guys will be laughing at you.
Some pool halls in the US too. Depends whether they know you.
Now, can he see enough of that one to
Oh, he
cut
can
it
play
back?
safe here.
Yeah, I'm
He can,
thinking
yeah, he can play safe here. It's just a
this
little
looks
tricky
good.
with the
This
speed on the one. So
little
you
touch of
got to
spin.
get the snooker.
It's excellent speed.
He wasn't gonna he was gonna have a hard time getting a one to sit, but I think he might have left an edge here.
Looks like it. The
did.
problem with that is that
That's not effective.
No, I think maybe he should have swerved a little bit to hit that one on the other side in order to have a chance of getting safe.
So the play here is to come just short of the side pocket, because that's the easiest way to get a shot on this 2-ball.
watch the cue ball. Bye bye.
Yeah. And that's where, I'll tell you why he did that. And this is a mistake that players make over and over and over again. He didn't take into account the induced English from the cut. So, he put the spin on it like there's no English from the cut. And if there wasn't, he would have been perfect. He would have come up short. But that English adds on to what you're putting in on the cue ball, and that's why he went wide. And that happens a lot. You see that sort of shot. You see that mistake a lot from players. I mean, I made that mistake a lot in real life, and I still do it once in a while. Not so much anymore, but it's you got to learn to take into account what's being added by the throw.
Welcome to semi-pro. I think that's the O'Sullivan match over. I think he won 6-1. They're on a long commercial break here. I think it's all over. I never saw the end of it.
Yeah, so I played with a standard shaft today because I wanted deflection to be like it is for me in real life. I actually, it's actually better for me to play with the standard shaft than like one of those low deflection shafts.
What do you play with in real life?
I've got a Revo, 12.9 millimeter Revo.
That's a low deflection cue.
Not really, especially since I got a 30-inch shaft, which deflects more than a 29 I used to have did. The VP in VP4 the deflections are very low. I mean, very low. But yeah, the Revo, a 12.9 Revo is not that low a deflection.
Is it a lot more than the thinner Revos? I'm more used to the like 12.3 or whatever it is.
It's more than the thinner Revos, and adding that extra inch on the shaft made it more too. It deflects. Yeah, I mean, it deflects more than my wood shafts did that were small tip wood shafts. I mean, it's not quite as much as a 13 millimeter wood, but it's, I've got a, what is it? Josie made me, he calls it a zero shaft. It's a wood shaft where he drills it and puts foam in it. And it's like, I think 12.8 or 12.9 millimeter. And it's got quite a bit less deflection than the Revo does.
He didn't try to get on this 3. He just decided the combo was good.
Yeah.
I would not have left myself this combo on purpose.
Yeah, me neither.
That's one of the reasons.
Well, yeah, you gotta. He's trying to roll it to make it the pocket bigger, but can't do that in that situation. And that was the right idea. He just didn't execute it. You could have said that about most of mine. I only did one really not so smart thing tonight. But my execution percentage was probably not better than about 75%.
Yeah, Sullivan blew him away. 6-1. High break 135. Dings was 85, which he obviously got winning that one frame.
Now let's see what he does here. This is kind of tricky. Yeah, that was going to be hard to avoid that 10 ball. Yeah, I feel a safety coming on. Boy, he just didn't hit it. That's just all speed there. I mean, all he had to do was hit that, and it was good. Let's see what Bill decides to do here.
Watch the cue ball. It's gone south.
I lifted the drink.
Yeah, you know, I played several shots in that same situation in my match, and I've told people how to play these. It's just counterintuitive. You spin that like that shot, you put left English on it, and people don't like doing that because they think it makes it hard to hit the thin edge. But it's actually easier to hit a thin edge putting that left English on that shot that you're cutting back to the right. It's very counterintuitive because you would think, no, that's got to make it harder. The ball's curving away from the cut and all this, but it's actually makes it much easier. I mean, if I can do it in VP, it can't be very hard. I did it twice, 2 out of 2, and you know, and I can't play the game.
So Gap's going to go to 2 again.
These unforced errors are telling the story. There's no need to go toward that corner pocket for that scratch that Bill had there.
Well, Bill's got a pretty good table here. He's got to be out.
That's the problem not spinning it, you know, is that you're trying to hit it thin, and it's just if you don't spin it, that's where it wants to go.
He's right back in line here, though.
Seeing my buddy that was arguing with me about this, I think his Fargo he's not alive anymore. I think he was like a 680, and he started arguing with me about that shot. So he set it up and goes, hit it the way you're talking about, and I did it. Set it up, and he hit it again. So after I did it about 7 or 8 times in a row, he started realizing that was the best way to shoot it. That's the thing about pool. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, this guy was a good player. He was a run-out player. He's, you know, he was a strong player, and he didn't know that.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, though, that very often it's a case of sticking with what you know until you're talked into trying something slightly different, and then you find out that works. Watch this. This doesn't work.
Yeah, well, he's got a fairly easy kick shot here.
He got a little flat on that ball, and he did not take the time to make a plan that was going to take the 9 out of play.
Well,
the biggest problem here,
you got to hit this with
you want to hit this with some speed so it comes back across. See?
Oh, it's almost there.
Well, he's done okay.
Put a little
he got
left
it out
on
far enough.
I prefer the bank. I think
I wouldn't change this.
It's a good bank.
No, you cut this ball every time. If you're Bill, anyway.
It's just gone in, and he's played it pretty good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'd be bottled out with it. See, I can't read the cuts most of the time. I missed a lot of cuts like that.
Well, I can read them until I don't. I mean, I could have a shot like that, make it, 4 times in a row, and then the 5th time I'll miss it by a diamond.
good luck to both. Vertical Liquid and Coldest
Yeah,
Pillar
good luck,
getting,
Vertical Liquid, Codus Pillow.
getting set to go in 5 minutes. We'll probably catch a bit of that.
All
Well,
right,
he's
well,
got
Bill
a
got all
ball
the way out.
down. He's got a shot, and he's got a pretty good looking table. So, I mean, the 4 ball's the biggest issue, and it shouldn't be too bad where the 2 ball is. I
Yeah,
mean, he's
good in
got a
the
lot of
2.
options.
He
He can
And
just roll forward on with the 2 and shoot it, go to the short side,
the
or
5
you can
is
slide it across.
not a full pocket. But
Yeah,
it's enough of a pocket that if he's any kind of decent on it, it really shouldn't be an issue.
yeah. This is the sort of table he should run out.
Oh, don't mention that, Cobra. You
King
know what I
Kong
had as
curry
a...
fried rice.
I never did done a
Oh,
shot
man.
today because it was pouring with rain. And you know what I had as a snack before this match started? A tin of beans. That's what I've had.
Now this shot, he should just hit a little spinner, just a little bit of right English. He's going to hit it left and try to come across. Yeah, that was actually okay the way he played it. That was actually pretty good. I like
No,
that. That was
he
more
could-
reliable than my idea.
He could stun over and play this in the same pocket as the 6.
Yeah,
If he doesn't.
that's what I would do here.
Well,
Just because this is funny.
He's
Gotta jack
fiddling
up a
around
little
as
to
if he's
stun.
trying something else here, is he? He is trying to drop behind it.
The thing is you could have run that at the 10 ball too, and shot the 5 in the side. He had a lot of options there.
I like the way he did it. I think that
When
was
when you're close to the object ball, it's usually pretty. So it's going to be 7-5, and Bill's going to be breaking.
Don't come past this ball. You don't want to be playing with the 9. He got a little flat again. He's good though.
That's a breaking run for Matt, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. After a break and run from Bill.
Well, this needs to bounce.
Boy.
He's got to go 4 rails to the 10 here. I don't know if that's the kind of thing he does. That's what I would do.
He may try to hold it. I don't know what he's going to do.
I'm going short, long,
He's
long,
going to
short.
run into it is what he's going to do. Oh, he
Oh.
came short of it. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it's a good shot if you know you're going to hit close to the 10. If you hit too far below it, you end up uncomfortably thin.
Yeah, that's a shot that, a lot of players in real life will shoot the same way.
Bill's just hanging in there at the moment. A good break. How's his luck? Well, he's
not great because he doesn't really have a shot on the 1 ball.
Now he really should be ducking for cover here.
Oh, for sure. I would shoot this bank. I mean, it's just kind of a funny angle to shoot. I mean, will it go? Yeah, but it's not the easiest bank in the world.
I think
if he misses it, he's going to sell out.
I think he can graze that one and end up bumping the 6 if he hits it thin enough and skims down the rail. I think he can brush it.
I mean, that's kind of an all or nothing, but yeah, he can. He can skim down. He's going to shoot the bank. So, I mean, this is an all or nothing shot. I wouldn't shoot an all or nothing shot unless I really felt I didn't have a safe.
Yeah.
Well, it was a safe. Look.
He's maybe going to end up okay, I think.
Well, he got away with it. I mean, he shot it at the speed he should. And the reason why you want to shoot it at that speed, because you don't want it hanging around that end of the table where there's no cover. I mean, he did shoot it the way he had the best chance of getting safe if he didn't make it.
Yeah, if that was me, I'd have been heading up country there towards the 6. That's what I'd have done.
Yeah, I wouldn't have shot it.
I'd have bottled out.
Yeah, this was tough. This was tough to get safe. Now he's going to be sorry.
Yeah,
because this is a very easy safe.
His view should be pretty green after this.
It's a little bit of spin.
Yeah, very
perfect.
green.
Absolutely nail. Get out of that one.
This is not a good escape. Not an escape you want to have to shoot.
I think he's looking at the shot he should shoot, which is off the short rail.
I agree, but it's so tough for me to see the angle when I'm only a few inches off the rail I'm kicking off
Yeah.
of.
Well, this
Oh.
shot's it's the same in real life. It's hard in real life too, but this is a shot that you can practice to get better at seeing it.
That's what I did tonight as well. I missed a heck of a lot of kick shots.
Yeah,
It bends
needed-
on him.
he needed to hold that up. That's a shot that he needed to hit with left English and hold the ball.
See, I'd prefer to use stun because then you take the hook out of play off the rail and you just have to judge the angle alone.
Yeah, he could have stunned it. He would have had to hit a lot harder.
By the way, just a message to those watching, if there's anybody out there who still wants in a team, get yourself signed up to the 9-Ball League as a player, because Maisie Dizzle is getting booted out the door tomorrow. I haven't checked today to see if he's topped up his account. I'm guessing he hasn't, so he's just sitting there wasting space on my team.
It's a well-controlled combo from Bill there, playing position on the 2 in the other pocket. Judged it real nice. Oh,
Got to watch that 8-ball.
Too
Got
hard.
to watch the 8-ball.
What is that?
Oh dear, is he?
Wow.
I
I
think
can't believe he was trying to
well,
get above the 8.
this is just a little dinky, a little soft massy, a little bend.
I'm not even sure he has to mass say this.
I don't think he does either now, looking at it. But he does. He needs a little tweak.
Well,
he's
a little
just doing
throw
this
anyway, I
he's
think.
doing this to get position.
Yeah, he had to throw that in. Look, it went all the way out to the point of the pocket. But he's okay from here.
King prawn curry,
Oh,
fried
no.
rice, chips and
Well,
noodles.
I said it before, so I'm not going to say it again.
Well, is that Bill that had 2 shot? Who was it that had the 10-ball in the same side pocket and missed it? Was that Bill that did that as well?
It was.
Yeah, he seems not to be sighting him too well at all. Well, this is a crisis now.
Yeah, that's the thing
Yeah.
is you just don't expect a guy that is at his level to miss as many easy balls as he does. He doesn't do it all the time. I've watched him play where he doesn't miss any of those.
Yep. Sometimes he gets in that mode where he's not missing those shots.
No, I think
Seem to be
Bill.
one of those times.
I think Bill's the only player in Friday Night 9-Ball that's ran 7 and out, unless anybody else can hold their hand up and say they've done it.
Yeah, no, I mean he's definitely capable, but the consistency part. That's what gets hard. That's the hardest thing about pool is being consistent. I mean, even when I'm playing good, I'm not consistent enough to win a tournament that's got 30 pros in it. The most pros I've ever beaten one tournament is 2. Because I just can't bring it like that every match and play that consistently. I mean, I've got the speed to win, but you just can't make mistakes. And, probably 2 max mistakes in a match. And I just can't keep doing that. And if you want to be successful in a really strong field, that's what you have to do, is you have to play really good every match.
Well,
It's just hard to do.
I'm consistent. I'm consistently average.
Well, that'll get you 2 and out. And VP is really the same thing. Is what it comes down to is for these guys that play good enough to win a tournament like this. The question is who's going to bring it consistently when it comes down to just good player after good player, because that's what's going to end up happening. Is if you go deep in this tournament, every round you're going to be playing one of the pros, and every round you got to bring it.
Seems to be kind of the same 2 answers every time. to who's
Well,
going to be consistent enough to reach the finals.
I think there's a lot of players that could be uh, good enough. I mean, they just, they've got to improve some things. That's why I try to help guys,
That's too straight.
in the stream understand what they need to do, because there's a lot of guys that play pretty good that I think, are capable of reaching that level.
They have to try and create something here. Yeah, that's good. I mean, he's controlled that very well.
Wow.
Yeah,
Big,
this is the
big
kind of
stun
shot you
draw.
want. I missed a shot like this tonight on the money ball.
You got to play more virtual snooker, Steve.
Well, it's going to take a time commitment. I got so frustrated. It's just going to take a time commitment, because it's not something that, you can just solve in by playing a half hour 2 or 3 times a week. You have to spend some time on the table. I mean, real life pool. I mean, I already play at a real high level. For me to get ready and play like in tournaments against tough competition, I've got to be on the table at least 4 hours a day. And it's extremely difficult how much you got to work. And that's, I don't play any pool now, but if last time I went to Derby to play, that's what I did, is I practiced about 2 hours a day. I couldn't do 4.
Yep. Takes a lot of playing.
And these guys are playing VP all the time, and it's probably not as difficult to stay on it in VP as it is in real life, but it's still not easy. You got to put the time in. You got to be on the table a lot. I know Rodney Morris. I remember. He kind of didn't play a lot of pool for a few years, and then he came back and was mediocre, and then all of a sudden he started winning. And I remember somebody asked him, why he started winning, and he said, I finally committed to practicing at least 4 hours every day. So this is a guy that's, top players, won the US Open, great player, and he has to be on the table 4 hours a day. So if he has to be on the table 4 hours a day, then I certainly would have to.
Yeah, I think that's standing between me and playing much better than I currently do. Is
You got to work.
I don't have 4 hours a day. I got a software developer job.
Yeah, well, it's hard when you work. I didn't play pool for 20 years because of that. But I got a lot better practicing about 10 hours a week, doing a very focused kind of practice. I had some good coaching. I worked real hard, but only like 10 hours a week. And you can do it at that amount, but you've got to have a very structured way of going about it. The normal way people get better is they just play pool 60 hours a week. That's what I did when I was young. I played about 60 a week. That's
Well, Bill certainly doesn't play as much as he used to. I mean, Bill used to be in every day, and again, what commitments come into it and things like that.
You're going to shoot at this every time, because there's a pretty good chance if you hit this reasonably well, you're getting safe.
As long as he finds a gap like that, he's got a good chance.
He didn't hit that very well, because what I consider reasonably well is cutting it towards the pocket, whether it went in or not, and he didn't, but he got away with it.
He had so many different balls to end up behind. It seemed impossible that he wouldn't get safe.
So this situation is a little trickier.
Uh-oh. Oh, I think he's okay. That's a stat you should have.
I like
Like-
the speed. I like the speed he hit that, because that was not one you could really hit easy.
That is a stat they have in Steam, Steve. The amount of hours you've played a game.
Yeah.
And I think
except it lies, because if you go into Steam and you play VP for 30 seconds, I think there's a minimum time. It'll give you like a half hour, or whatever it gives you. Because I've got a bunch of hours in Steam and I never play on there. I'm just going in there to test and leave.
Well, I've got 5,500 hours on Eurotruck. I don't know how that converts into years, but I've been playing it since 2012. Well, Bill, of course, is at the stage where he needs some assistance here.
Well, it's 2.5 years of a full-time job, Hugh. I don't know about, working hours for a full-time job. I don't know about total hours in a year.
Well, I think it's going to be 10-6 here. Be a whole lot of problems with this rack. Makes a mistake with the cue ball. I wouldn't have
Gotta
gone
get
there.
around the little.
I would have wanted to have an angle to go off the long. But
Makes
he's
it around
fine.
Hadrian's wall there.
He
That's
wants
over
to
there
make
in
sure he's
the
missing the
UK,
6.
Yeah, well, you should never hit the 6 in that situation. I mean, there's so much room.
You use draw to avoid the other 2 balls here.
Yeah, I'd probably, if I was playing this in real life in this situation, I might shoot that in the side pocket. I mean, that's the thing is I look at, how people move the cue ball in VP, and they've sort of adapted to VP because,
See, that's
if you
another
watch guys
controlled
move it in
stun
real
draw.
life, they tend to play different patterns.
See,
Well,
when
distance isn't
carry on.
distance isn't a problem, then that definitely changes which position zones become the highest percentage.
Yeah, it's good you got a stroke that's very straight in VP, and in real life, that's not always the case.
You watch Matt, keep your eye on Matt with these stun draw shots that he plays. He controls that generally very well, and he's comfortable with it. And when you're comfortable with it, you're usually going to be pretty good for shape.
I see people get in trouble in VP following that philosophy at the wrong moments. Like the one time in VP that is very much like real life with distance is when you're drawing the ball. So if you're going to draw the ball, it's much better to be close to the object ball, and it has nothing to do with how much stroke. It has to do with being able to control the draw. So the more to the distance is, the harder it's going to be to control a draw shot. And I see guys do this all the time in VP, where they'll end up leaving it long. They'll do their normal cinch thing, and then they've got to draw the cue ball 2 feet, and they're all the way across the table, and that's a hard shot.
Yeah, I agree. If you're rolling the ball in, then long and straight, very easy in VP and very tricky in real life. But
into the middle of the
drawing
table.
The ball, it gets tricky in both.
7 into the side. Now he wants the angle in that 7 where he's just brushing past the 8 for the 8 into that top right hand corner. He doesn't want the wrong angle.
He can just roll it. I mean, it's just sitting where you can just roll it.
That's fine.
That's the ideal, is when you can just roll the ball and you'll be perfect.
That's all Bill can do, is just take care of his business on his break.
He wants to get to the right side of the 9 here, though. He doesn't want to be going around 3 rails. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a great situation for Bill. He's at 2-1 right now after winning this game, and that's always a bad thing against good players, down 2-1.
Especially an alternate break, Matt's gonna get to the table.
Yeah,
a
well,
certain number of times, regardless of what Bill does.
alternate brake favors the better player. That may be a little counterintuitive. I remember one of my friends.
All
You know,
formats favor the better
he's a
player.
decent player and stuff. He's like, no, I mean versus winner's break.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
My buddy's like, let's go play in this tournament up as a bar table tournament. Let's go play in this tournament. He goes, it's alternate break and this and that.
Oh.
And he says, yeah, you know, it's alternate break. I'm like, that's not an advantage. He goes, yeah, it is. That guy can't break and run the set out. You're guaranteed to get to the table. I'm like, I would rather play alternate winner break where I could break and run the set out. I go, alternate break, you got to hold your serve every time because they're going to break and run out, and then you have to. I mean, alternate break is not an advantage. Now, if you can't keep the guy off the table, then you may think alternate break's great because you get to shoot a few times. But the reality of it is you're not going to beat the guy either way if that's the case. For somebody like me who, you know, plays good enough to beat the pros, I'm way better off playing winner's break.
Well, Matt's push out's giving Bill the shot in the 1. The 2 is very tight past the 7. And
yeah,
he's
interchange brings up the. Oh, I'm sorry, Hugh.
He's got good. I mean, he's got good. He's just going to cheat the pocket a wee bit, I think. No, he's not. He's going to nail it, but that is poor.
That's way too hard.
Oh, wrong button. Hang on a minute.
Mathematically, the win chance is the same. That's not true. I can tell you right now, I've got a way better chance winning at winner's break because in alternate break, you're letting a champion get to the table to break every other rack. And if you're playing winner break, he doesn't have to get to the table. And you can control the game. You can't control the game in alternate break, so it's not the same.
Well, when you analyze the data across entire events or entire seasons, then it turns out Inter is kind of right.
Yeah.
It makes very little difference.
Well, you're talking about a bunch of pros together. That's different. I'm not a pro. I mean, I've played tons of events, and I've played them both ways, and I know I've got a better chance in the winner breaks event.
Mike Page has done the math, you know, selecting for matches that are, you know, between 600 level players and 700 level players. I've seen a few posts of his.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me playing against guys that are, you know, 750 and above. You know, I'm talking about me playing against pros.
Right, but
and in that
your level against pros comes up all the time in these events.
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now, if you look at those players, you're going to find out that the guys that are my level are going to win more in winter breaks.
Good evening to Tam. So, you think you'll be fit for next week, Tam?
Well, for me, I think the psychological question does make a big difference. I think if I break and run, you know, a 3-pack and keep a pro in a chair, the amount that his arm gets cold and that he's not going to have an easy time shooting well when he gets to the table is one thing, but he's used to people running 3-packs on him all the time. When a pro runs a 3-pack on me, I can tell you from experience, when I get back to the table, it's probably not going to be pretty.
Your new nickname, Tam, is John.
That's kind of a different thing, though, because that's a matter of being used to that kind of competition where you don't get very many chances. That's a very difficult thing to learn because I lost and lost and lost and lost for a long time when I was capable of winning because I just wasn't used to getting 2 or 3 chances in a match. And playing well, it's just hard to do.
Bill 70 hit and hope here. John Inman, that is, Tam. He was limp-wristed enough.
Limp wrist? Is that what your new nickname is, Tim? Is Limp Wrist?
Yeah, I said it was an old masturbation injury he had, but others
trying
agreed
to
with
up
me
the
as
ante.
well.
That 8 looks a little close for this. He's not going over the whole ball, though.
And he told the doctor it was from playing VP4.
Virtual something 4, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. The doctor was thinking, yeah, he's on his computer, but he's not playing VP4.
Should have said elbow.
Well, this
Well,
is Matt's doing what he needs to do. That was well done. This is perfect. Matt's doing what he needs to do. All he's got to do is hold serve, and he's winning.
And Matt has made very few mistakes so far this match. Bill has been
I like
the
how
chief mistake maker.
comfortable. I like how comfortable. I mean, not just this match, but I like how comfortable Matt's been hitting the ball, and his pace is good. He's comfortable with the speed most of the time.
Yeah, Matt's been more comfortable as this has gone on. I mean, I've been watching him play now maybe for about 3 years, and he's definitely getting better mentally in these world championships. I think he's just getting more used to it playing at this level.
And that's what Bill didn't need.
He's always been a good player. He's always had real good ball speed. I mean, that's one of the strengths of his game. Is his ball speed's very good. And but I think he's learned some stuff, and I think he's better playing in these kind of tournaments where he's playing tough competition.
Well, I mean, just going to bump the 8.
Match he lost, didn't you? Wasn't it Albin he lost to? Who was it the Matt lost to? I remember he played pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was Albinario.
I mean, neither one of them played great. It's not like it was a wonderful match, but I mean, Matt could have won that match. And anytime you can win a match against Alvin, you're doing something right.
$17.15 it was. I probably streamed it. I don't remember it.
10 stayed in the way of the 6 there, so that combo is a missable angle unless he gets right on the rail with the cue ball.
Yeah, I would.
But you
I would play for the carom there.
You could be shot. You could have 2 ways of doing it. I mean, I don't know whether you can bump it into the rail and bump the back of the 10 for the 6 to go in, but the carom's a lot easier.
The carom's much more reliable. The trick on that shot's going to be getting a shot on the 6, which there's a number of ways to do it. First, you kind of got to see what angle you end up with on the 6. This isn't going to be a wonderful angle. So with this angle, what I would do is play the 6 up table. I'd hit it easy and play the 6 up table past the 7. Now you can hit this with more speed and take the 6 across to the 8. I don't know what he's going to do. You got 2 choices here.
He's got to hit the 6 thin though. It would go like above the 8.
Oh yeah, he's got to hit the 6 very thin. I mean, it's almost impossible to hit the 6 too thin at this angle. This is not really the preferred angle. I mean, if this was me shooting it, I'd probably look to shoot the 6 up table.
So yeah, he's calling the 10.
He's got. Well, he has to call the 10 here. He's gonna play the billiard shot. He didn't hit it hard enough. He needed to hit that harder.
Maybe get a little more
6.
6 go on the side?
Yeah, it will, I think. I think it's near impossible to miss it.
He's playing the cross corner instead. That's
Yeah,
a
I
tough
don't
shot.
understand that. I mean, I think there's enough room where it'll get past the titty. I don't get that. I don't get why he didn't play it off the 7. I mean,
Well,
He didn't see it.
if you hit it really hard, the 6 might catch the tit, but at a reasonable speed, I think it would have gone in.
well, this is make or break, and it
Oh
wasn't
boy.
an easy 6.
Bill.
Well,
Well,
that
let's
6
see.
needs to keep rolling.
That's.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
got
I think
another
he can.
combo.
I think he can
Yeah.
handle this.
Rolled close enough to make the combo pretty manageable.
This is my weakest shot in real life. I need to play more rotation. Got to play games where he shoots these a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
you missed it.
pooched it. And that shot. Combinations are hard. It doesn't take much to miss them.
Here's
you
a
watch
two-way shot.
If you watch a Filipino shoot combinations that play a lot of rotation, it's just.
He played safe.
Oh,
He could have banked that ball cross corner with a two-way shot.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't play safe with the cue ball on the 8 ball. If you're going to play safe, I thought that was a lot easier shot than the one he played.
Yeah, this
He
is
left a cut.
This is on the hill. This.
Yeah, he's done here. He's got to hope for a bad rub. He didn't get.
Ooh, that one didn't have to go.
Yeah, if you watch a guy like Efren shoot combinations, Efren shoots combinations really well. All the
He does.
Filipinos do because they played a lot of rotation. And when you play rotation, you shoot tons of combination.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at this.
That's what the Czech side does on it. He had the English on it.
I just coughed a fur ball up. That's
Well, that's. It might be too late for Bill, but he's got out of jail here.
It gives him life. I mean, 12-7, he didn't have a whole lot of life. 11-8 looks a lot better.
And
who's breaking?
Matt's breaking.
Well, this is the other problem with alternate break. When you get behind, it just makes it really hard to catch up.
It's dry.
Not always. Sometimes the breaks are all dry.
It's dry, but I don't think Bill's got much of a shot, has he? Let's have a look. Nope.
Not against the guys I usually play. Even in this game, the guys that are breaking decent are about 65%, which is really what you should be in 10 ball, is at least 60.
Well, he's looking here. I don't know what he's thinking.
With a template rack, I can do a lot better than that in real life. With a wooden rack, all bets are off.
Well, if you can feather this thin enough.
It depends on who you are. I would take Shane with a non-template rack over anybody breaking in any game.
Well, Shane's a great racker. I've never learned to rack well. I do fine with a template rack.
You can have a referee racking. You can have the other player racking. I mean, Shane is just by far the best breaker I've ever seen. He's just phenomenal. This playing with a template rack and playing this 9 on the head spot and cut break where everybody can make the one ball pretty consistently in the side pocket. That's
everybody but Shane.
It's hugely disadvantageous to Shane. He's lost his. They've taken away his advantage in breaking.
Yeah, Bill's in dire straits here.
By doing that. I mean, he can still win, but it's...
Oh, that'll do it. Well, it's come off the rail.
It's a lot harder than it used to be for him.
Yeah, it's bounced out. Now, of course, the problem with this is that there's quite a lot of obstacles to avoid here.
Yeah, there's a lot of open space along the rail, the long rail that the 2 is adjacent to, but it's hard to get there while avoiding all the traffic. He's just
look at that! Look at that for a bump.
You gotta like that. I'll tell you a story about Shane beating guys with his brake. So Dennis Acolio, who played better pool than Shane, especially at this time, couldn't beat Shane in long races because Shane would brake so much better than him. So this is the mentality these guys have. Dennis practiced his brake for 8 hours a day for like 4 months straight. Think about that. He practiced just braking 8 hours a day for 4 months straight. I'm surprised his arm didn't fall off.
See, I know that if I spent focused practice time on my brake, I would be a more effective pool player. But I play pool for fun, and I cannot convince myself to do something that is so little fun as to just rack and brake for hours on end.
Oh yeah, you can convince yourself. All you got to do is start gambling. You start gambling, you'll convince yourself to practice. It's a big motivator.
I gamble a little, but not enough that I'm willing to torture myself in order to lose less.
Yeah. Well, then that's what I call practice. Everybody's got a number that's practice. If you're not real unhappy when you go home, then it's practice.
Oh, well then I only practice. I don't gamble amounts that really hurt to lose.
Yeah, because that's what motivates you is pain. I don't know I don't know what you got to say about that, Todd, but all these psychiatrists and psychologists that say positive reinforcement is how you learn. I say bullshit. My experience is it's pain.
Well, no, Steve, if pain was a bigger motivator, you'd have quit gambling. Instead, you went back to practice because that positive reinforcement of when you win means you can't quit.
Oh no, I always practice the most from when I lose. That always motivates me way more than winning.
Well, it might motivate you to practice, but what motivates you to go gamble again?
Well, I like the action, honestly.
What's he doing here? He's calling the 8.
Oh,
Thought he'd called the 8. Had he?
No, he didn't. He didn't call a ball.
Oh no, it was
Which
he
means
was,
he was
just,
playing the 2.
he was just playing the 2 in past the 8. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, he was.
Well, that's mere, it's
This has
more
to be a
than likely
combo,
going to
I
be
think.
his last shot.
He hasn't called this combo, but I don't think he can play the
Is he
2
trying
clean.
to bump it in off the back of the 8? Maybe that's what he's doing.
well,
Wouldn't.
there's a way to get a shot on this too.
He played the combo. He forgot to call it. I don't know if it matters.
Well, I think it was obvious, wasn't it?
Believe
It
me,
was
you're
pretty clear.
you're gonna see that shot in Honolulu all the time without a call. Nobody's gonna call that.
Yeah, I mean, technically you're supposed to call every combo, but
Yeah,
they
well,
don't get a lot more obvious than that. So
it's not going to be like that in Honolulu. We're turning off the forced call. We're only calling shots that aren't obvious. We're going to redefine what obvious is for Honolulu. It's going to be go ahead and fire away at stuff.
Well, you're going to have to add a 6-page document on the rules and the support page for Stub to explain what an obvious shot is.
I think it's pretty obvious in most situations where guys are going to play a billiard or a combo or a bank or a carom. If it's
all you need to do is
not that obvious, people call it. And the other time you really should call it is when there's a pretty high probability that you're going to make 2 shots that are both legal.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to call one so that when you make both of them, the player knows which one you're really playing. But even in a game like Honolulu, I bet at least 90% of the shots are going to be pretty obvious.
There you go, Bill. Another consolation rack for you.
Of course, there's going to be complaining because that's what people like to do. They like to complain.
Yep, everyone everywhere.
That's another one of my psychological gems, Todd. They people like to complain, and I've noticed this funny thing. The people complaining are usually the ones losing. How many times do you hear the winner complain?
Well, look at Ronnie
Depends who's
O'Sullivan.
winning.
There's a perfect example of it. Ronnie O'Sullivan complains about everything.
Yeah, I'm not saying the winner doesn't ever complain, but it's usually the loser.
Earl complains when he's winning. Mike Siegel complains when he's winning.
I complained after
He's a
this
big
golf tournament. I went up to the tournament director and I said to him, "You ever notice that the guys complaining are all the guys that didn't win?" And he's like, "Yeah." I go, "Well, I won, and I'm going to complain."
You ever watch much of Mike Siegel play, Steve?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
always
great
fun
player.
when. Yeah, he used to live up in Maryland, and so
Oh,
he'd be in a lot of tournaments in our area, and it's always
great player.
entertaining.
The guy's an asshole, but he's a great player. Yeah, he can't shut up. There's a reason why his nickname's the Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is truly one of the great players that's ever played pool. It really is one of the, he'd be in probably my top 5 greatest players ever.
Okay.
Just all right.
I think this is gonna be it, folks.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see, where's it going to go wrong if it goes wrong? 10 ball's pretty tight to the rail.
I'm not sure what positive
It's not
punishment
frozen.
is, other than the fact that when I lose, and I always look at it as an opportunity to learn something. I don't care how I lose.
Uh-oh. This is going south.
No, it's not.
Look
It's
at
not
Yes,
going
it is. Commentator's eye. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness
Is he
me.
hooked, though?
No, he's okay.
No, he's not.
Oh, is he?
Oh, he thinks he is.
He isn't.
I didn't think he was, but if he swerves this, it can go wrong.
Uh-oh.
There it goes.
I don't think he looked at that, because I'm sure he could get to that.
I think he could, but it was
Well,
close.
the thing is if you got to swerve it just a teeny bit,
Well-
just being up on top and raising the butt a little will turn it just a little.
What
Third
about
time
the
lucky
shot
for
raised
beside
Bill.
that Bill has missed multiple
Third time
times?
lucky. He's got one.
Well,
There we go.
so this is all of a sudden.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to have to look at that at the end of the... what right was it? I'm going to have
That
to look
was,
at that. I'm sure he could see that.
That was the 22nd wreck. So
Stop,
all of a sudden,
he's typing, Steve. He's typing,
Bill's
Steve.
breaking.
He's typing. Hurry up. He's typing. Get him this time. Get him this time before he gets it pasted or whatever the hell he's doing. Get him done quick, just to annoy him. Good. Oh, bullshit, he got it.
Oh, man. He was kicked out and then his chat went
it was
through.
It was a race, and Steve wasn't quick enough. He had to type. We should have just booted him. He's kicked him for 72 hours. Come on.
Cigar Tom Vanover.
He just doesn't learn. I mean, I think he has more fun spamming than he does playing pool.
Well, talking of spamming, Steve, it's going to get the phone ready. It's coming in. It's coming in.
Though.
The thing is I started kicking him, and I kick him for an hour, then I kick him for 4 hours. Now he's kicked for 3 days. See if he gets it figured out. That nobody wants to see that crap.
You're going to get 3 solid days of this, Steve. You better take that off.
Bill's got an easy run out here to get within 1.
Just make him sweat for an hour.
You know what, Hugh? I'm not on Facebook hardly at all. I don't really like Facebook. The only reason I've even got a personal account is for virtual pool, because you couldn't have a business account without having a personal one. So I don't tweet, I don't Instagram, I don't TikTok. I probably should, but I don't.
Now, what's he doing here?
I would just shoot the 6 in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10 was always going to go in.
Yeah, I would have hit it.
This
I would
is
have hit
tough.
that a little easier, but he's
This is tough.
okay.
2 rails takes you over
I
to
mean,
the fat part of the position zone.
This
here.
is just natural.
Yep.
Anytime you got
that
natural position.
That needs to bounce. It needs to bounce.
Fine, fine. It's
Yeah,
right where he wants to be.
He's okay. If he wants, he can play the backside of it. I wouldn't, but see what he decides to do. He'll probably just check it a little.
Yep.
No, just a little dink back. Little dink back, 10 in the other corner pocket.
Done back to where he is. Yeah.
Well, Bill, like most of the better players, has no give up in him. I mean, Matt's had his chances to win, and he's going to get another one right now.
Bill's in a position where he's just thinking it's a matter of time, but he's just got to be ready to fire if he's given a chance like he has been given, and now Matt's breaking to win the match.
You got to have no give up. I was out down 8-0 in a race to 9, and I won.
I was, not to name names, but I was down 12-6 in a race to 13 and won in the last Big 10 ball tournament.
Was it? That was cruel. that was
I'm not going to bring up who the opponent was.
Who was it? Because I don't remember. I probably watched it.
But he is in the chat saying he wishes I had given up.
He needs pause when. Oh man, Todd, you just don't understand what Stubb's like. How many times has Stubb asked you for money to do something, Hugh? Stubb asks me for money all the time to do something. He begs me to pay him for stuff, which I refuse to do, of course.
Oh dear. Well, this could get interesting, although Bill's going to have to get lucky. How lucky is he? Well, he'll take that. That isn't bad. I think the 6th ball might come into play.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Well,
At the edge, though.
This is a tricky little safety here, though. This is a tricky little shot here. He can put him on the 5, but this is tricky.
I would just try to use the 10. Softer speed. Yeah.
I would have tried to put him on the 5 because you could hit the 1 ball real thin.
Just think of the corner. Just think of the mess Steve made of the code, though, semi-pro. Think of the mess that Steve made of the code when he ended up with a stub.
Uh-oh, that's not in.
Stubb is a unique individual. There's no doubt about that. He's a one of a kind.
Will Matt bank this in the side or just play safe under the 2?
I would bank this. This is such a natural shot. I would bank this.
Do we reckon he's perfectly sane in the real world?
No.
Or do we reckon that he's got learning difficulties?
This is such a natural position.
Beautiful.
He hit the 2, but he still got away with it.
He did.
Well, he's going for the flashy finish here. It's all over now. Look at this table.
Well, it should be over, but we've said that before. This just stun it back, just a little stun draw.
Pay him to stay quiet. Well, that's a good idea. You get your wallet out.
Didn't he already offer you that deal? Look at this. Didn't he already offer you that deal, Hugh, that he'd shut up if you paid him?
No, because he knows that's never going to happen.
I think he was supposed to go twice across off that 3 ball instead of trying to draw.
Let me tell you what worked, Todd. When I put in a fine system and I said anybody that quits matches before they're over is going to get fined. Stubb, I got fined $300, and I had said that they were going to be increasing fines. The second time, Stubb got fined $1,000, and since the second time, he hasn't done it. So that worked. Is finding him when he quit.
Yeah, but you see, what about a new rule? Fining him instead of muting him? Just empty his bank account.
I could start fining him for spam, and that would definitely be effective.
Yeah, He'd
Will
go
he get
to,
up on the 5?
he'd go
Now-
to sign up Friday night 9-ball, find out his empty bank account.
Now, would paying him to be quiet, would that work? It
No.
probably would, Todd. But then guess what? Then I'd have 10 guys putting spam in that wanted to get paid.
Yep. Yours truly.
It's easier to find them because when I find them, I'm not going to have 10 guys coming in and spam and trying to get fined.
I feel like you get safe behind the 5 here.
Oh, yeah.
Is that crazy?
There's no doubt about that. Stubb is always going to test the boundaries. That is for sure.
It's like the Velociraptors in the
That I
The
couldn't agree with.
containment
I couldn't
Jurassic
agree with you
Park.
more.
Right, Bill. Here we go.
And here we go. It could be hill. I mean, this is you just got to watch out for the side pocket here.
I think a little
Well-
right English and side pocket's not in
Yeah,
play.
he's
He's
bailing
gonna
out big
roll
time.
it and make sure.
He
Well,
took it
yeah,
way
you
out
know,
of play.
Now,
That's not bad. That's not a bad idea, especially in VP.
up
Well,
in
and
the
he's got a
middle of
good
the
angle
table.
this way too.
Middle
He's
of the
got a
table.
great angle. I mean,
That'll do it.
hey, he should be out here.
Famous last words.
He'll go under the 9 here. I would always go under the 9 here. Little spinner.
Draw it enough to beat the side pocket.
I'd just spin it off the side rail. I wouldn't
Oh,
try to beat the side pocket.
It's all right. It's all right. A little more draw might have been better.
Yeah, I would just hit the spinner. Because it's safer than trying to draw past the side pocket.
Easy to misjudge it and end up behind the 9, though. It takes a lot of judgment, that one.
I would never end up behind the 9 there ever.
Never in a million years, I'm sure.
Never in a bajillion years. I mean, if I was going to make a mistake on that hitting a little spinner, I'd be more likely to actually draw it too much and go in the side pocket than I would to end up behind the 9.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's available too. I like to alternate which of those two things I do wrong.
Well, we didn't think this was going to get like this, did we? Half an hour ago.
We didn't, and you know, if you're Matt, you're a little sick to your stomach. But the thing is you know, you just got to realize you could have been the one that came back from 12-7. You know, you just got to look at it as it's one game, and I got to win it.
Bill breaking for the match. Oh, look at that. Oh, they died in the middle of the
Fires
pack, but
the
then they
ball
got hit.
in.
And
I'll
that's
tell you
seven
what,
ball.
What a
Seven
shitty
ball.
rollout was.
7 right to
Oh,
Matt's
dear.
rescue.
Okay, this is where a good push out really matters. So if this was me, I'd probably roll it up on the 4 ball and leave the
Yeah.
edge.
Yeah.
See, that's how you leave an edge, is you roll up on something like that will stop the ball.
Denny DiLiberto says tie something up because
Now
you're likely to get the worst of the push
He
out.
rolls up on the 8 and leaves a shot. I
He's
would have
giving him a
never
shot,
done
yeah.
this. I would have never left a shot like this. I would have left the shot where it was back cut on the edge, not this shot.
Matt's got it. Oh, I thought he'd got it.
And
I
Matt
don't
does
think I
not
would
put
have
it
shot
in.
that shot. I don't like that one in VP
Yeah,
or
I
real
would
life.
have definitely thought about playing safe because it's all or nothing there. And you know, Matt did get a little unlucky. He hit it good enough that it left the 1 ball there because he could have missed it where it came up on the end on the side rail and didn't leave a shot.
Well,
Bill
he's
hit
good.
this window perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, Bill should be out here.
Yeah, it's Bill's to lose. Is he straight enough that the 8 ball's in play? No, not really.
He's just going to roll this.
Yeah, go up between the 8 and the 10.
No, he's just going to bunt it. He's not going to take any chances.
Well, he doesn't want this angle, does he?
Yeah, this is fine because this is
Oh.
a stun over.
All right. If that was me, I was playing for the 5 in the side.
Yeah, I always
I don't-
worry
I
when
don't
you're
like
playing
this.
a stun at this distance. So he's got it clean.
Never a doubt from Bill.
I don't know. I mean, you know, with VP, people play position with a lot more space than you would in real life. It's just a little bit different mentality. So I would be going forward left English here. He's going to go straight back.
He's elevated over the 9, which makes
Actually-
me less likely to use the left.
Actually, straight back is better anyways, because he didn't want to get too straight on the 9. I think that was the right choice.
Missable.
I missed it. I missed the shot. At
Oh
least
dear,
3
he's
times.
overdone it.
Did. Oh,
Unbelievable.
Okay, that's your fault, Hairpig.
Unbelievable.
I got it. What?
That's
I mean, I
it.
said it
That's
was
Hairpig's
Oh
missable.
God. Oh, that's
It would have been my
great.
fault if I said he can't miss
That's
it.
Hairpig's fault. We're blaming.
Oh, Bill. Oh, that's got to hurt. That's got to hurt big time. Matt's
Look at
done the
this,
same
though.
thing.
No,
Look at this.
no.
This is getting crazy. I can't handle this.
Well,
And
This
that's
is-
not on the point. This
is getting nuts.
This is the hanger.
there's
Well,
there's
Bill-
some tight
Wow.
there's some tight sphincters in this match.
Well, who should
Fireworks at the end of the match.
Who saw that happening?
Wow,
Oh dear.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Man, that is so
Well,
brutal.
That's what happens when it gets tight, folks.
You got
Match
two
had
guys.
everything.
You got 2 guys with a headache, but only one of them's throwing up right now. Oh God, that's just
Oh dear.
so brutal.
Oh God. Right, I'm going into this. I don't know whether
man.
you guys are hanging around, but I'm going to watch the rest of this one.
That is just unbelievably difficult to take that.
Oldest Pillow's running away with it at the moment.
You can't feel good about that match if you're either guy.
Let's have a look at the stats while they're playing.
Now I'll tell you when you're okay with that kind of win. I'll tell you when I'm okay with that kind of like if I win like that and stuff. If I'm playing for like 10,000, I'm okay with that win. If I'm playing just like a normal tournament match where the winner gets $500 or something, I wouldn't be too happy. But
Now, why does that keep disappearing? That's what annoys me about when I'm trying to find
what
Mr. Bill.
keeps disappearing? Mr. Dot space.
Yeah, but as soon as I
space.
delete a letter, it deletes the whole name.
There's a list of players in alphabetical order right below you. You could just scroll to Mr. Bill.
No. You'd be there for 3 days trying to find Bill.
Really? I don't know.
Why? It's
But
alphabetical order.
you know, it doesn't work right in the internal browser. And this is like one of those things where, you know,
Watch this.
a lot of third-party software and hard to fix.
Watch when I delete one letter, it deletes the full name on Bill. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going up there. No, it still does it.
Put BIL. Put BIL and not the last L, and then delete one and see what it does.
Mr. BIL. Mr.
Mr. Dot BIL, and then do a backspace then.
Backspace.
BIL now backspace.
Nope.
Okay, so do Mr. Dot and backspace. Oh, just Mr. Dot.
There he is. There he is.
There he is. Okay.
MC underscore.
Yeah, I got no idea why it does that. It's a problem with the not my software.
Per turn, pretty even. Matt slightly ahead.
Bill actually ended up with the.
Oh, look at.
Oh, that's 2 matches worth of stats. Oh no! I'm misreading it.
Look at Matt's average balls in the break. That is really
well,
low.
That's the difference there. I mean, Matt may have won this match handily if he broke better.
Bill way up at 84.
58% isn't horrible. I mean, you got to get to 60 starts getting to be in the realm of where you want to be. If mid 60s would be kind of normal.
Rack's run, Bill had 3, Matt had 2. I can't believe the way that match finished though. You couldn't write the script to that the way that finished. That was just crazy. Now, what's happening in this match? Any signs of life?
You got to feel for Matt because he played he could have beat Alvin and he didn't, and then he lost that way to Bill. You got to feel for Matt.
Yeah, but that looked a fairly straightforward 9-ball, but it's amazing what can happen when you're under the cosh.
You got to have some empathy for guys. I mean, that's
yeah,
brutal
I mean,
to lose like that. Stubb wouldn't.
oh, no,
Stubb would just be telling Matt he got nuked, but that's Stubb.
yeah.
He's what do you call that, Todd? A sociopath?
What a finish.
I think he
Well,
just impersonates a sociopath online.
Yeah, I don't think he's really a sociopath.
that's what I meant to
was
check.
just joking.
Let's have a look at the bracket and see how that shapes up. So Bill will be out on his own now, because he's waiting on Christian is waiting on a loser coming across. So now where would the loser come from? Let me have a look. He's waiting for he's waiting for either Cobra or Spectre Dawn to come across to play Christian. So Bill's going to be playing either Cobra or Spectre Dawn, with the greatest of respect to Christian, because Christian's not going to get a sniff in that match.
Yeah.
So Bill's going to have it tough. But
Well,
then
you gotta
again,
love Christian though, because Christian's always getting in these things. He's trying to get better, and
I mean,
he has gotten better. I mean, you got to give the guy credit.
he's
in there playing.
All I hope is he's learning, and the more he plays against these guys, the more he's going to learn that doing the same stuff ain't working, and he's going to eventually pick it up. So Bill knows it's going to be tough.
He loves VP. So I don't know if you've noticed this girl in here, Sophie DDs.
What, in VP4?
Yeah.
Never seen the name at all. Never seen it at all.
She's been in a bunch lately. She's playing a lot. She's back in now.
That's the one thing to remind the guys before they start bailing out, if they haven't already. I think we've got one match on the schedule. Oh no, wait a minute. Hang on. We've got. I forgot about Slim and Bankster. They're going at it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, so I'll be there for that one. That's what's that? 10 o'clock East Coast time, and then a Cobra later on in the evening at 6:30. So I'll be there for those two. I certainly won't be there for the Vince's Interchange X match. No, wait a minute. Am I reading this right? Right, that's what's wrong. It's next week. I've got it right. So I will be there for that one as well. So that's a week on Sunday. We've got Vince's against Interchange X, 2 p.m. in the afternoon next Sunday. So yeah, I'll be able to get all three of them.
Yeah, I should be here for the matches tomorrow. And then the following Sunday, yeah, I should be able to be there for that too. That should be a good match. I mean, Interchange X has been playing good, so.
Are you still there, Stubb? Are you still in YouTube? Give me a yes if you're still there. I've got a question to ask you.
If she's hot, she can join Stubb, okay? Yeah. Don't be harassing the women, Stubb, or that's how you get banned.
You can't send proposals. Yeah, you can. You can go into the external browser and go to VP4 Stubb. So that's no excuse. My question to you is, Stubb,
he can't send proposals.
Can you not? Oh, I didn't know that.
Because you can't log in.
Oh, that's tough then, Stubb. My question to you is, Stubb, because me, Steve, and Hairpig were debating whether you prefer just to be kicked for 72 hours, or would you rather just have $1,000 V fines each time you type bullshit in the chat in a room, in the tournament room? I think the $1,000 fine each time would make you stop. What do you think?
Yeah, Stubb, if you want, I can pull the ban and just give you the fine, $1,000 fine right now.
Well, there you go. There's a deal. There's a deal.
I'll give you a choice.
Yeah.
Don't say I've never fair.
That sounds a pretty good deal to me. Of course, what you don't do is come back in and type bullshit tomorrow when the matches are on.
Just be another $1,000. Oh, I like this name. Spicy. Oh, that's a good name.
All right, gentlemen. I'm going to have to get going. Thanks for letting me hang out.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for coming in, having some fun. And we got lots of good matches coming up.
Drop in anytime.
Look forward to jumping in again soon.
See you later.
All right. Later. And, I think I should go bye-bye too.
Yeah,
Maybe
Steve's bailing out as well. I'm going to stick the distance because I've got no work tomorrow and I don't care.
I have stuff I need to get done. Hopefully, I'm going to put the new version of rotation in tonight. Just gotta wait till there's not too many guys online. Oh, wow. That wasn't good.
Right then, we'll see you tomorrow then, Steve.
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. I should be here for both of them. And
Right.
thanks for streaming. Have a good evening, guys. And thank you for that.
See you later. Right, I'm just going to tab out to shut down, what do you call it, Discord. If I can find it, that is. There we go. Right, I think I'm back in. Yeah, I think Vertigo Liquid's up against it here. Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan, I think they had the mid-session interval in that match tonight. He was 3-1 up at the interval, and I think they'd barely played 40 minutes of snooker. And then he came back after the interval and just blew Ding away, won the next three. The next three, because it was first to 6. So it's a great final tomorrow between O'Sullivan and Trump. And it'll be a pretty quick final as well. And I probably won't see much of it at all because then I'm back to work on Monday. Oh well, I mean, if Coldest Pillow's getting a lot more table time and putting in the effort, then yeah, you would expect to get better, get that table feel, the control of the pace, all of which is non-existent in my game. Just in that slight no man's land. One of these little cuts, you see, that always catches a lot of players out, catches me out a lot as well. So a chance for Vertigo Liquid, you see, he's digging way down into the cue ball, you see. And clearly didn't have the line right before he let rip. It's never going to go in when you're stunning, drawing back at that pace and you hit it slightly offline. These pockets don't take the shot. Got to be clean. This might, I'm guessing that this might be the story of this match where Vertigo Liquid just can't get the job done. Paul was doing a fair bit of that in my first match tonight, and what was I getting against him, last 2 or something? And I was just coming in and potting the 8-ball or something. At least 3, if not 4 of the racks that I won. So that I got off lightly there. Well, this probably isn't going to be much longer, and I can go and get a coffee. So just to recap, we've got those 3 matches tomorrow. If anybody wants to join us, we've got One Pocket Slim and Bankster. That could be interesting because we know Bankster's no fool. he can pop balls. Of course, this is a different ball game altogether, where he's not getting the benefit of that handicap he usually gets in Friday Night 9 Ball. But you know, he should be more than good enough to get a number of racks off Slim. And then, of course, the big one, Cobra Spectre Dawn. The big test for Spectre Dawn tomorrow night against the multiple champion of Cobra. And Spectre Dawn, is he going to be stepping up to the plate to win his first title? And then we've got Vince Says again. That'll be a good match a week on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that as well. So 3 very good matches in the pipeline. The matches, of course, will begin to dwindle as we're coming to the sort of business end on the winner's side. Called the 7. Well, I think that I would have played that a bit softer, if only just to try and give it the best chance of going in. Well, Vertical Liquid's called the bank here. I think there's enough room. Yeah. No, sent it wide, and of course the cue ball's gone south. So here's a test for Coldest Pillow. Now he can bump into the 4 and 10 and hope it comes out good. It hasn't really, because he was always going to have a shot in the 2. I think, in fact, now he's got too much angle on the 3. If he was a better angle on the 3, he could have probably just got himself in a 4-10 combo to stay at the table. I don't know whether he's going to get there doing this, though. It would need to run a lot more. Well, the chances are Vertical Liquid's not going to have a nice shot in a second. Well, the 5 goes. Not going to be any shot in the 6, though. And the cue ball's gone again. Yeah, Vertical Liquid playing way too loose. So you don't want to be directly behind the 6. You want a little angle, which he's got. Now, is it a little dink from under the 10 ball, or is it that? Well, I mean, he's still on it. You just never know where things are going when you start running into the ball, and of course, Coldest Pillow seems in a bit of a hurry. Now here's a gift for Vertical Liquid, which you should be getting. Now, anywhere in the top half of the table with the cue ball, that's all you need to do. You just need to make sure you're not scratching off this 8 ball. I don't like the fact that he's putting top on it For a start, that was dangerous. So, get the scoreboard looking a little bit more presentable. That's the objective. Coldest pillow though, waiting to get in the hill. And balls are flying in. And a shot in the one. Well, if you can get on the two, better than this. You've got a good chance of getting out. This is tricky. Tricky because the 5 ball's in annoyance where it's sitting. And that's well done. That's at least giving him a decent shot at it. Now the other thing that's annoying here is a 9 ball. Because the cue ball's wanting to head around the corner and up that direction. He's not hit it. See, that's where the cue ball was going to end up. Any more pace than that, it was heading right up behind the 9. Another chance for vertical liquid here. Although this is a big test because it's but still 5 balls on the table he's got to deal with. Let's have a look. I mean, you see, this is just get a hold of the cue ball, a good stun onto the rail, or you can start running the cue ball, but if you don't run it hard enough to get out of there, you end up doing that. That's the problem with that shot there. You have to run it hard enough. I think the stun to the rail was on as well, but that's a bit more, well, I wouldn't say advanced, but it's something you have to be playing on a fairly regular basis to be comfortable with that. See, vertical liquid is a lot more comfortable just running the cue ball. Yes, I will, Bankster. I will. I'll be there. I'll be doing all 2 matches tomorrow. I'll be doing your match with Slim, and I'll be doing Cobra and Spectre Dawn later on in the day. So good luck. That's why this game's difficult. You know, vertical liquid is at a level where his main struggle is getting to the next ball, and that's a problem that all less experienced players will have in any game, where it's the cue ball movement and understanding that. So even having 5 open balls on the table, the challenge is being able to know a general idea of where the cue ball's heading or how to head it in a certain direction. And this is what you're looking for in players improving. Well, we're all hoping it'll be a good match. I don't think it'll be, I'll put it this way, Bankster, it won't be as good as the match we've just watched. I'll tell you that. I'll be very surprised if it is, because that was crazy the way that match finished. And it's even crazier that Bill eventually won out. Oh dear, Matt's going to have a nightmare tonight. And he's had a tough time of it, having had to deal with Albinario, and then he comes out on the wrong end in that match with Bill. So the push out is passed back. Now this is tricky. Don't want to get too much into that too soon and too close. You're going to chip the 6 like that. Commentator's eye. So Coldest Pillow has another little test, and the angle that he's got in the 4 should allow him to let the cue ball run. That's going to be no good. He should have let that run. I mean, the worst that he could do is bump into the 9 or the 7. And he'd still have a shot in the 5. But he's kicked it in. But everything's a struggle thereafter. Now, is he going to get nasty here? No, he's went for the bank up table. Going for the throat. Now, is he on this? I think he is. Well, he's got bottom right English on it, which is, you know, that's going to make the shot that much more difficult. Well, this is a billiard every day of the week off this 7 ball onto the 10. That's what I'd be playing. It's a good distance to give you the room for judgment onto that 10 ball. Not the combo. I'm much happier looking at the billiard. I mean, this is sort of maybe half ball onto the 10 at a nice pace, and you'll give the 10 every chance to go in. But he's done it the other way, and he's got it. Fair play to him. That was well done. He's going to have to dig out another one. Vertical Liquid is going to get sorry, not Vertical Liquid. Coldest Pillow is going to get another chance to kill the match. And that ain't it. That was not the shot. Now, there's questionable technique there in getting onto that 8 ball. And this is, I mean, he's not under any pressure, obviously. This is why he's just sort of banging at balls. Because the wind's going to come eventually. I'll be having words with him if he starts doing that in the 9 ball leagues. I can guarantee you that. Yeah, well, that was a struggle. I might have won all my matches, but it was not pretty, and my break was awful. You know, if I was watching and commentating myself, I wouldn't have very many nice things to say, put it that way. It was not nice. So well done to Coldest Pillow. He marches on. And it's a 13 racks to 4 win for CP. And we'll see how that shapes up on the bracket. Let's see if we can find him. Christian Whiskey Bill. Spud Boy is waiting on the winner of Chico Chombolero. Sergresh plays Hyzeric. Slim plays Bankster tomorrow. Rabbi's lying in wait for the winner of that one. Semi-Pro is waiting on the winner of that tie whenever that happens. And then we've got Quagmire and Larry. And there we are. There's Coldest Pillow up against Tommy. So Coldest Pillow is going to have a much sterner test against Tommy. He's going to have to control his game a lot better to come good in that match. That's going to be a test for him. So that is it. We know where we stand. We've got the 3 matches in the pipeline. 2 tomorrow, 1 in the afternoon, my time, 3 p.m. And then we have the match earlier in the evening at 6:30. Big match with Cobra Inspector Dawn, Princess, and Interchange X a week tomorrow. So that's it. I'm off for a coffee. And well, you're through. That's all that matters. But as I say, you're going to have to up your game against Tommy. Tommy's a far sterner test than you've had tonight, and you're going to have to work hard to get on top of that one. So that is it. I am off, guys. Take care. I'll bid you good night, and hopefully you can join us at some point tomorrow to at least catch some of the match or matches. And until we meet again, I will bid you good night.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Good night, ladies.